Hey everyone, happy Friday. I've got Margaret here, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about her first home purchase. She was actually a first time home buyer 2 years ago, and she went by way of purchasing a multifamily home, and there were some surprising benefits that I wanted to ask you about.
Yep, totally.
So, when you were thinking about purchasing your first home, who did you start out talking to?
I came into real estate with no real estate background or experience, and so the first year of my job, I was not only learning my job, but I was asking a ton of questions because I was really curious about how this would work being a single person with the income that I was at when I came into Pickett Street. And so I started out by talking to Cody Touche with Caliber Home Loans and the Touche team. And he really turned me on to the idea of multifamily because I hadn't ever thought of it as a possibility outside of buying a Rambler.
Mm-hmm.
I was set on a Rambler. I thought it'll be super cute. I could decorate it. I can, do my art within it. But financially, it just didn't make much sense. And I would have to have probably 1 to 3 roommates to be able to afford the mortgage. And so what Cody did was he looked at my numbers. He literally that day just scratched out some notes and showed me what would happen if I bought a duplex, a triplex, or a four-plex. And it turned out that it made a lot more sense for me to buy a duplex or a triplex because my mortgage would be less than what I would pay if I were renting, and I could have my own space without a roommate if I wanted to. So Cody Touche was the first person that I really talked to about that.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great to have that kind of help. So, where did you end up buying?
So I purchased my duplex in South Everett, and so I looked all over King and Snohomish County, and my price range for a single-family home, a Rambler, was just up to $265. But when you look at multifamily, your purchasing power goes up. So with a duplex, I could buy up to $325. Triplex, I believe, was $375, and a fourplex was just over $400. And so that brought me into South Snohomish County, which was great. I wanted to stay as close to Seattle and Bothell as I could. And so I ended up buying in South Everett right by Payne Field for $325 total.
That's great.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
It's interesting because a lot of people, I think about multifamily units and they don't think about owner occupation. They think about it as a straight investment. And the way that you did it was actually an inspiration to others in your family. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So my mortgage right now, just so you guys know, is I make $50 every month. And so my mortgage is about just over $1,900. And I have mom and dad and 3 kids upstairs. And then I ended up getting a roommate downstairs because I wanted to go as far as I could. And so I don't pay any of my mortgage, which is amazing. And so when about a year into my purchase, after I'd purchased it and I was living there, my parents saw me go through this entire process, and they've always lived in single-family homes. And we started talking about it, and we started talking about what they want to do as they go into the future with all of my brothers. I have 3 brothers, 2 of whom most of the time live out of state. And so they really want money to go visit them, to do things that they want to do in retirement. And so they started looking for duplexes, and they ended up buying a Rambler in Edmonds with a mother-in-law. And so they actually bring in $1,000 a month that they can put towards whatever they want to do in their retirement. And I love one of my why, which I talk about with Jesse a lot, is to inspire other people. And I love that happened for them because it just opens up so many more doors. And being a landlord is not as hard as I thought it would be if you find good tenants. And so they're doing great. My tenants have been fantastic.
And the beauty is also in having tenants in a multifamily is that you're not paying HOA dues. There's not any special assessments. No big surprises there.
No.
So
yeah, it's really comfortable and easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the moral of the story here is that you have found somewhere that you can afford to purchase and live, and you're living there for less, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the only other thing I would say is that the specific type of loan I got to was unique in that Cody helped me discover that I could do a 203K loan. And so I was able to put in about $22,000 worth of work, which this home needed because it was bank owned and it had been empty for about a year. Which was great for me, right? Because there was no competition. So I went in and I redid the downstairs exactly how I wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
I did a new bathroom upstairs in the tenants unit, and it was amazing. So now I live in a home that's super comfortable, that I love, and it's on a double lot too. So, yeah.
Great.
It's amazing.
Great.
Yeah.
So we have a home available in the Ballard area in Seattle, a very desirable neighborhood. and it is listed for $775. It's a duplex. And again, this is an excellent opportunity for somebody who wants to be able to live in Seattle. Maybe if you approached it as a single family home purchaser, you wouldn't be able to afford to live there because it is so desirable and prices are just through the roof. This is a way for you to purchase, rent out the other unit, and live in excellent Ballard for less.
Yeah, I can't encourage you enough to check it out. And if you didn't think it was an option before, there's no harm in just exploring the option and reaching out to Cody Touche or us to see if it's a possibility. Because that's something I never thought was possible, and I just want to encourage you to know that there are a lot of possibilities out there that you didn't think about before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Margaret.
You're welcome.